Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, YouTube family, wherever you might be. Today, since my husband is still working from home, I'm going to be filming cooking and we can chat and whatever is on your mind. I just thought this would be a really great time to take a little bit of a mental break, right? A little mental health moment because being isolated is really hard for a lot of people and people who are we're built for community. Let me just say that we're built for community. So I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to be able to chat with each other, check up on one another, and just see how you guys are all doing. I will try to follow some of the conversation, but in the meantime, I'm also going to be cooking. So I'm pretty excited about this. I am going to go grab my gloves and then we'll get started. So you guys, let me see here. These gloves are not easy to put on. They're so weird. I don't know how doctors do this. I guess they're used to it. Here we go. You're going to hear all the snapping from my gloves. Yeah, I've had friends today, some of my friends who are therapists, who, for them, they're not really able to do the things that helps them with their mental health, because therapists are being relied on right now for support, anxiety support and isolation or depression support. And they're also being isolated and they're also being surrounded by all the negative news. So anyway, got to chat with a friend this morning who is a therapist, and she's going to go out for a bike ride, which is awesome. I would recommend that if you're still able to do that. Go out for a bike ride and get some sunshine. So you guys, I'm going to get started here. We'll warm up the pan. We are going to make an omelet this morning. It's I don't often make this omelet, but when I have the ingredients, I love to put it together. I had a friend who made it for me a while ago when I was visiting him in New York City. Not recently, this is many, many years ago. And I'd never thought to put parsley in an omelet. So I thought, well, once we tried it, it was just amazing. So since then, whenever I have parsley, I'll put it in the omelet. Hey, Obi-Wan, good to see you. I know that we're doing this time where, hey, it's a little different, but I think it'll be good. Hopefully my pan is not too hot right now. This is not the omelet yet. I'm just gonna do the sausage. And what I wanna do is get this sausage rendering and use that rendering to season my omelet. Oh, shoot. Okay, here we go. There we go. There we go. And whoops, that's the pan, or the, not pan, but the, oh, I can get that out of the screen. Sorry, guys. Oh, having gloves is kind of nice, actually, being able to touch all this stuff. But still gonna wash between touching meat and vegetables. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Let me see. Oh, is it even going? Oh, yes, it is. All right. Oh, you have an awesome recipe for an omelet. Awesome. Yeah, tell me about it. Maybe I'll make it sometime. So while that is going, I'm going to crack some eggs over here. Yep. After serving this, surviving this, yeah, to think it was going to end like this. Oh, hopefully it's not going to end like this. This is precautions, and it's getting supposedly better in other places that have taken these precautions. So hopefully we are also going to be slowing down the infection rate and then recovering from this entirely, right? Yeah. I love these eggs. These are from a friend who raises chickens. So I love these eggs. They're wonderful. Okay. Back to this. I'm not sure that you can even see the eggs, but here they are. Or let me see. Are they in the picture? The picture is rather bright. I wonder if you're able to even see the picture. Oh, here we go. I might have to clean my screen. My puppy is wandering around. I'm going to rub this for a second, you guys. Sorry. Oh, yeah, it is hard to see because it's rather, the way it's glaring. Why is it glaring so much? Right over here is glaring. Not sure how. Oh, maybe that'll help. Okay. So I might have to just show you this part. Sorry, folks. Making some adjustments. Oh, okay. All right, so you may not be able to watch me do all the chopping and cutting. There we go. Start moving some of these. Yeah. Someone yesterday had said how hard it would be for those who are still stuck with their narcissist in the house during this isolation time. Can you imagine that? I did not even think about that until she said that, and that made me even more grateful that my life is so much healthier now, and the people in my life are healthy. And how blessed we are to, I'm gonna work on this. Yeah. So what are you guys doing while you're in isolation? Any good shows that you've been watching? Or my daughter showed me a show, which was awesome. Started watching with her, called All American. Interesting. So far, I thought the acting is very good. Just started it, so I think I'm just finished the first episode. Okay, there we go. This is going to be great. Okay, see if that'll help with the lighting. Oop, gonna turn this down some. Thing about sausages, it tends to curl and then it doesn't want to stay flat. And I might just cover this so to make sure that it's cooking through. Yeah. This is a large pan that I had bought, but it did not come with a lid. So I use this very old lid that I've had for a walk. There we go. There we go. But it covers the pan. All right, turn that down. And in the meantime, let's see if I can do a little chopping and bring you up with me. There we go. Ah, much better. Okay, the egg. So it says, my narc is trapped in a house full of crazier narcs that all hate each other. They're going nuts. I know it. Yes, actually, you know what? yesterday's show, I was talking how, was it yesterday? I can't remember now. How this isolation is driving the narcissist crazy because they need affirmation, right? They need to be told how wonderful. They need attention. They need supply, but they're not going to be able to go to their usual haunts. To do that, right? Their usual gatherings or bars or restaurants or whatever, right? Groups, meetup groups. But they're going to start calling people and trying to get attention that way. So either they'll call just to make your life more miserable, or they'll call and try to hoover you back in, which is just as bad. Either one, really, because we'll get tempted to let them back in because we want to be compassionate at this time. But you know what? It's not your obligation. It's not your obligation or responsibility to make sure that, you know, take care of their mental health. They need to seek people who can give them real mental guidance. All right, you guys, let me see. Better move this around a little bit. All right. Oh, this sausage is so good. We had it the other day. I think it's just like some store brand from King Soopers or City Market, or I'm not quite sure what they call it where you are, but it's delicious. Would highly recommend it. Hey John, good to see you. Says my ex-narc moved last year with her new supply to New York. Oh my gosh, right? Thank goodness. Good for you, right? That you don't have to live with this. Sorry, I'm just trying to brush this off. Nobody says, mine won't call me. I accidentally called it out on being a narc. Oh, yeah. No need to reach out to them at all. But if they do reach out to you, keep it limited. That's my suggestion. I know some people will just simply not respond, which I think is also a possibility or a thing that you could do, a choice you can make. But you can also just keep it very, very limited. And then it's kind of interesting because you'll be able to watch them try and manipulate. You'll be able to see and listen to their excuses, their appeals for your kindness. And they want you to help them because, as you remember, narcissists are having the worst time, of course, right? According to them. They're suffering much more than everybody else. So they're going to want you to feel sorry for them and take care of them. All right, so the sausage is taking a little longer than I expected. What else am I chopping? Oh yeah, here we go. So I have some baby portobello mushrooms, which I'm also going to put in the omelet. Love it. Don't want to cut it too thin. Okay, let's turn it this way. Yeah, so, you know, during this time, a friend of mine, my therapist friend I was talking to this morning, was saying, so what are you doing to keep your mental health? And I told her that I've been cooking up a storm. I cook about 2 meals a day, like full meals, but it's been great because it has gotten me back to cooking. I've loved cooking for a long time, but then it became a chore and a burden. And then now I'm back to it again. And since we're all kind of stuck at home, I have the time to do it now. It's been good. It's been really good. So because of that, I get to take you along with me to do all this cooking. Isn't that great? Yeah. Yep. Okay, and then some tomato. This is one I used the other day. Whoops. Let's cut that part off. There we go. Yeah, I keep a compost container nearby. It's funny because I just get it from the dollar store. I got this little planter container from the dollar store, and I bought, I think I bought 4 or 5 of them, and they're wonderful. And I don't use them all for compost, but sometimes I'll have 4 of them going before I actually bury them. I bury them straight into my garden. You know, people are like, oh, you know, it's complicated and you have to add these enzymes and whatnot. But honestly, I thought back to, you know, how does nature compost? And when things die, it just goes straight into the ground. So I use a little thing like this for coffee grounds and eggs, because we do that almost every day. And then I use something like this. This is the planter I'm talking about from the dollar store. And it's pretty big, and I use it for the larger things and when I'm cooking a big meal. All right. Oh, gotta check on these again. They're looking beautiful. Look at that. Browning nicely. And I'm pretty particular about making sure things cook all the way through. Don't want any raw sausages. All right, you guys. Turn this around there. My little dogs are going in and out, so I have to make sure to let them in. All right, here we go. Yeah. Whoops, here we go. And the thing about cooking is I prefer it when it's not in a rush. I love to just leisurely cook and chop. And I know some people are like zooming through the chopping. I probably could chop a lot faster if I weren't wearing these gloves. It's so awkward. And the fingertips, I'm trying to keep those away from the blade. Yeah. All right. Alrighty. So that's looking good. The tomato. So what I have so far is parsley, portobello mushrooms, tomatoes, these beautiful eggs, all these eggs from my friend, and got to do onions. Next thing is onions. This has been used. So I started anyway, and then I kind of surprised myself last time when I made this because I put more onion than I normally do, and it was delicious. So I am definitely doing more onions from now on because it was so good in the omelet. So that's what I would recommend. I think people are a little too stingy on the onions in omelets. Okay, see if I can get this going. And I want to chop them real fine, so really close together, about 1 millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters, but trying to keep it right about that there, so I can make it very fine. And you don't even see them in the omelet because they chop so thin. Okay, let's see if I can get these little portions here. Well, for those of you who are at home because you're not able to go out anymore, I hope that we can do this fairly regularly until the quarantine time is up, isolation time is up, or house, what do they call that? House, I forget, isolation or something. Stay, I forget what they call it. But until that's over, I figured we'll just get together and cook. Get together and look how beautiful this is starting to look, how colorful it is. All right, I'm gonna check on the sausages again. And I think we're almost done with the sausage. I'm gonna take them off really soon. And that's just to put on the side. I'm not going to put that in the omelet because I just love to take a bite of sausage when I want to. Same thing with bacon. Okay. Let me see if I can put this over here. Nope. Okay, you know what? I have a smaller one. Put it over here. I think that's where I'm going to keep my sausage. Okay. Let me put that down. See how fine that is? Tiny little pieces. Wonderful. All right. I'm running out of cutting board space here. Yeah, I need to move this up a bit. Oh, somebody's escaping over here. Little mushroom. Move this. Haha, there we go. Very, very nice. Wow, these are sliding all over. Let me move some over. So hard to do with gloves. Because the gloves do not hold them into place very well because they're sliding all over from the gloves. These gloves are not grippy. At least not for onions, they aren't. Alright, here we go. Getting there. Getting there every little bit. There we go. Oh, this is going to be so, so good. Okay, next bit here. Normally I would take all these things off of the cutting board and put them on something else so I have more cutting board space to work with. Oh, there goes my glove. Toby says, Escape, I know this is off subject, but now that I learned the game of narcissism, I play with narcs the same way they do us. If I need them for a tool of some sort to benefit me, learning these tools have helped. Thanks. Yeah. You know, I don't play with narcissists, but I definitely protect myself from them. I have relationships with some of them, and learning these tools for myself, I have been able to protect myself from getting vulnerable with a narcissist, for instance. You know, I've definitely learned not to trust and to be very careful. And it's not like I live in paranoia or anything like that, but I know better. I used to be such a trusting person. I just assumed that strangers meant well. And even people who may not be strangers, I just assumed they meant well until they proved that they didn't. That has come and bit me on the behind enough times that I have learned to not isolate so much as simply protect. You know, I still have a good relationship with some of them, and I'm willing, you know, and I say this fairly regularly, I give what I'm willing to give. And that has served me so well. Just that thinking that I want to be a generous person. I want to be a kind person, but I know I'm not responsible or obligated to others, right? You're not. You're just simply not. But in being a kind and generous person, you want to give. And the thing or the key to not burning yourself out or setting yourself up for failure or making yourself susceptible to toxic people's manipulations is you go in knowing what you're willing to give. So be happy with what you're willing to give. If they take advantage of it and take all of it, well, that's what you were willing to give. I'm trying to put this onion back together. So if they take it all, or all that you're willing to give, that's fine, because you were willing to give that. Whether it's information or finances or help of any kind, you know, your time, you're willing. I was talking to a friend yesterday about this because he helps a lot of people move. And let me tell you, I don't understand this. This kind of just got me, where he would help people move and then they don't even help. It's like he shows up and moves their heavy stuff while they stand around on the phone chatting with people. And it's like, buddy, you know, I'm here to help you move your stuff. I'm not here to do it for you. I mean, he doesn't get paid. And then they expect him to stay the entire time for hours to help them move their things while they're on the phone, or they're like, well, I got to go run an errand, or I'm meeting up with this person. It's like, no. You don't just let me into your house and then expect me to move your stuff while you run off. So, of course, to him, I said, you know what? This is, and he's learned from this already, but this is my suggestion to people who are facing that or end up in that situation. If you show up to help somebody move and they're on the phone the whole time, if after 10 minutes they're still on the phone and they're not helping you, and it's becoming apparent that they don't intend to help move any of the heavy stuff and they expect you to do all of it, tell them that you are only staying for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever you're willing to give. And then say, but then you're leaving, you know, gotta go. And then either they will be like, oh, well, let me, you know, help and see if we can get as much of this moved as we can in that 10 minutes. Or they will ignore you and you just leave. You know, it's okay to do that. It's not okay for them to take advantage of you. And so many times we think, well, you know, we want to be nice, so we don't want to say no, or, you know, I told them I would help them. Yeah, you did. You helped them. You don't need to stay the whole time if they're not willing to take care of their own stuff. It's not your responsibility to take care of their stuff. So look at how beautiful this is looking, how colorful this is. All right, you guys. Yeah, John says the onions add personality. Absolutely. Oh, you know what? And I was telling people yesterday that I cook with onions just about every day because they're delicious, but there's a health benefit too because they have an ingredient, and I should have looked it up. Maybe you guys can look it up, that protects us from viruses. They help to boost our immunity and protect us from viruses. Look at these beautiful sausages. All right, so these are going to go on a little plate. I have a little bit of rendering on here. You can kind of see, not a whole lot came out. I love doing this with bacon as well. Yeah. So I'm going to use that to cook my omelet on for extra flavor. All right. Another ingredient I'm going to have is, and I don't need to bring it out essentially, but Swiss cheese, you guys. Baby Swiss cheese. Yep. So I'm going to add that into the omelet as well. First, let's get, hold on. Let's get some butter and oil on here. Oh, here we go. Grab my spatula and things. Put a bunch of butter. Love butter. I recently, or maybe, I don't know, a year and a half ago now, got turned on to this butter called Kerrygold from Ireland, I think. And it's, I think, from cows that are pasture raised, which is awesome. You know, we don't eat as much butter as we used to, so I love to cook with really good butter. And not just cook, but we'll put this on toast and everything. We'll love it. All right. Add going and some oil. So the first thing I'm going to do is add the onions. Get that going. Sounds like I have some messed up friends. No, those are not the friends that have me moving. My friends who are just kind-hearted, you know, and they're always wanting to help people. Not always wanting to help people, of course, they take care of themselves. They're very responsible people. But when someone asks them for a favor, they step in, you know, they step up. But then, of course, there are those who are, you know, they may not be narcissists, but they just take advantage. And they have no clue that they're being a turkey. You know, you don't ask someone to come over and then have them clean your house while you sit on the phone, for instance. You know, it's like, the heck with that. All right, you guys, you know what else I like to do is I add a little salt to my tomatoes, because tomatoes generally are kind of bland. It's nice to have a little flavor in them when you take a bite into them inside of the omelet. Okay, here we go with the, ooh, I gotta turn that down. Onions. All right. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Love it. All right. Look at this spatula. This is so great. I got it from the dollar store. These are awesome. Some of the dollar store stuff, I'm like, yes, please. All right. I like a little bit more oil because mushrooms tend to soak up oil. Apparently, onions too, when you cut them real fine. All right, here we go. Turn that up a little bit. Look at how much that is, but it's so tasty. Okay, put that in, and in about a couple of seconds, I'm going to add the mushrooms. Yeah. I'm trying to think, am I forgetting anything? Don't think so. I've got some everything bagels as well. This is going to be so delicious. So I'm going to toast up some everything bagels to go with the meal. Okay, make sure that these fall apart. Now I'm going to add the mushrooms. Ooh, this is so nice. And cover up those onions, cover up those mushrooms with oil here. And don't forget the butter. Oh, so good, so good. So I like to use the Himalayan pink salt. I'll keep it in a dish so I can grab a pinch of it whenever I want, which is really awesome. And then I always use fresh ground pepper. And I like the multicolor one. Just adds more depth. All right. Obi-Wan, dollar store is a scam. You walk in and think you know what that item is. So cool. It's only $1. And the next thing you know, you got 50 bucks worth of pointless garbage you'll never use. Actually, not true for me. I have used plastic, well, like right here, I have a plastic cutting board. I get that from the dollar store. I've looked at other places and the same, because it'll come in packs of 2. And I've looked at other places and it'll be $2 somewhere else or more. And at the dollar store, obviously, it's just $1. Although I have found some at a discount store I was going to get where they're different sizes or they're color coded. And they're not super expensive, a little more than dollar store, but they're better quality. So that's also something you might want to consider. All right, now it is time to add, you know what I'm going to do? I have somebody here who does not like mushroom. So I'm going to see about doing a section of no mushroom over here. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully that'll work out. Oh, look at these beautiful mushrooms. I love this. Love it, love it. And we'll see if those mushrooms will stay in their place while we cook the egg. Oh, and I want to turn this up. Oh, I forgot something. I meant to add some water to my omelet eggs. Okay, let's see if that'll do. Get around here. Turn that up. Okay, there's so many different ways. I know I learned from a chef how to do quick omelets. You do it in a very high heated pan, but because I'm doing kind of a thick omelet that I'm gonna roll like a burrito, I'm gonna do it where you don't cook it as high. And I'm hoping that it doesn't stick to the pan, but we'll see, we'll see. Time for some salt. There we go. And some pepper. Fabulous. And then, oh yes, I also like to move things and let the egg cook underneath. There you go. You can move your eggs around and let it cook underneath. There you go. So you don't have this weird tough layer at the bottom, along with, there you go. Turn this around a little bit. Yeah. There you go. Get that in there. On the edges. And around. Looking good. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Now it's time to do a little bit of the parsley, or all of the parsley. Beautiful. Spread that around. Ah, love parsley. You see, I cut the stems too. People are, for a long time, I thought you could just do only the leaves. Oh no, use the stems. Maybe not the very tips of the stems, but you definitely want to do the stems because, oh, I'm going to turn this down a bit. They're just so crunchy and delicious and delightful. Very refreshing. Look at how beautiful that's looking. All right, now, gotta rinse my hands. And I'm gonna add cheese. Okay, let's see what we got here. I do. Okay, I'm just looking to see where my, yeah, there it is. Side without mushroom is. Sorry guys, let me move this. That looks like there's mushroom there. This is thicker cut than I prefer, but well, maybe I'll do two there. There you go. Oops. I probably won't add cheese on the top then. All right. And we're gonna be flipping this or rolling this. There we go. I might need two of these. All right. Ooh, this is much thicker than I did last time because I'm cooking for one extra person today. Now that we're all at home. All right. Just gonna keep rolling it until it's all rolled there. Put it back to the center. There we go. And we are done. Yeah. There it is. Turn that off. And I'm gonna portion them straight across. And then we're just gonna turn the pan off and let that set while we toast up some bagels. Spirit. Good to see you. Yeah, Obi says I use 3 eggs to do this. I used 7 today because we have several people in the family and I want to make sure everybody gets them. Let's see. All right. Ah, the everything bagels. So wonderful. You know what? I'm just going to empty them out right here on top of the omelet so that the everything seasonings go straight onto the omelet. There you go. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Okay. Okay. Slice the bagel. And put it in the toaster oven. I don't know how people don't have toaster ovens. I use mine all the time. I love using my toaster oven. I don't have a toaster. I just toast everything in the oven, in this little toaster oven. And it's not so little. It can hold a pizza. All right. There we go. Here we go. Toasting, and I think we're done. Okay. I think we're good. So are you guys all holding up okay? This is why I'm doing this, because I think, you know, like some of my friends who are holed up, they just need some normalcy back in their life. And maybe they're still at the beginning where they feel pretty good right now. Ooh, some more of the seasonings from the bagel. Same thing here. Sesame seeds and poppy seeds. Yeah, there we go. All right. And I think I'm going to put this back on the pan. And start cleaning up a little bit. Put this here. Actually, yeah. Move this here. Down a bit. Guess I can put some on this side. Stay warm. Oh, they actually feel pretty warm still because they've been sitting there next to the stove. Oh, let's put it there. Here we go. Yeah, Free Spirit says the stems of greens usually have more nutrients than the leaves do. Oh, I didn't know that. How about that? Thanks, Free Spirit. Says that is looking so good, isn't it? So use this time to cook. Use this time to do something, create something that you're happy with, that and healthy too, right? Use onions, use garlic, use all these great things that will help you build your immunity. And it just feels good to sit down and have a nice drink. Oh, and that's another thing I'm doing. We have fresh orange juice at our store, which is amazing. Sam's Club does this fresh orange juice. So I got a jar, and not a jar, it's a plastic bottle, but I'll pour some over ice and then add some spritzer water. Oh, so good, so good. All right, so I'm going to start cleaning up. And let's take a look at those bagels. Not quite yet. Okay. from going a little bit longer. But I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope that you're able to find time to stand out in the sun or sit in the sun for a bit. I definitely did that a little bit today. It's kind of cold today where I am, but I did get to stand out there and just let soak in the sun for a bit. And I'm actually possibly going for a bike ride later because we're still able to do that. And I need some exercise. All right, keep putting things away while we wait on the bagels. Yeah. Wow, Free Spirit says, I made a big jackfruit and more moringa curry the other day and portioned it up and froze it. I have never heard of jackfruit and moringa. I don't know what moringa is. That sounds really enticing to me. I didn't know. I've never cooked with jackfruit. I just eat it, which is yummy. That's cool. All right, you guys, I think I am done, but I'll keep you on for a little longer while I clean and wait for the bagels. And then you get to see what a plate looks like. It's gonna be so good. I gotta remember that this portion here has no mushrooms for one of our family members who is not a big fan of mushrooms. Ah, bagels are looking good. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead. Maybe I'm going to put this over to the side. And these bagels here. Woohoo. I wonder if people want to do butter or cream cheese. So I'm going to let them decide. My husband likes butter, so I'm going to do that for him. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to put the butter down someplace it's too warm. I'll be careful of that. Get a knife. All righty. There you go. There you go. So he and I are going to do butter. And there's no need to overeat at this time. Especially if you're not getting as much exercise as you usually do. Here we go. So we're just going to share a bagel. There you are. What? Wow. Okay. Free Spirit says it's amazing. It's one of the most nutritious trees on earth. More calcium than milk and more iron than spinach. All right, I am definitely looking this up. Moringa. Moringa. Now what, oh, I wonder what it looks like. Now you're really intriguing me. All right, I think that is it. And then I might just go ahead and put cream cheese on the others because I think you're gonna want cream cheese on it. Looking for cream cheese. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go outside and grab some cream cheese from our outside fridge. had bought some cream cheese a month ago because I was going to make, I was thinking of making a cheesecake. But since I didn't, I have all this beautiful cream cheese now for my bagels. So yay. Very nice. Open this up. Okay. Oh, these gloves. Okay, here we go. I think I got it now. Can you guys see? Oh, look at that. A different knife. Ooh. Ooh, that's chilled. Very chilled. Another thing I like to do with cream cheese, if you have walnuts and honey, you just get the cream cheese a little bit whipped up. You add some honey and walnuts to it. That's really delicious. And of course, you don't want to probably put it on an everything bagel. I'll get a little foil come off with me. Look at this. Gorgeous. This is going to be so good. Thanks, Free Spirit. Oh, it is delicious. I made this the other day, and it's just light and refreshing because of the parsley and tomatoes, and the mushroom and onions just gives it this depth of flavor. I just love the parsley in there, and I understand parsley is really good for us as well. I found, when I go to the store, I buy what looks good, what's on sale, but also what looks fresh and good. And they have this beautiful parsley in the vegetable area, right? And I couldn't help myself, so I bought 2 bunches. There we go. Look at that. I like to have everything to the very edge because you don't want to have that last bite or that edge bite that has nothing on it. Here we go. Fantastic. Okay, let me see which one goes where. This here. Goes there. And we are all set. Well, you guys, let me see. Thank you, John. Obi says, I separate my egg yolks with whites. Okay, cook the whites first, then I add the yolks and ingredients and cook that on top of the whites. How about that? That's interesting. It makes a double layered omelet. So I assume you scramble the egg whites so they're like a good consistency, and then you scramble the egg yolks together. That is pretty clever. All right, you guys, I think I am done, but I'm going to make a plate right now for my husband. And you get to see what it looks like. This is what my husband gets. Some people are like, I think I'm going to eat the end portion. So I'll do this for me. Give my husband a good chunk of the middle portion. I think, yeah. And then, here we go. The non-mushroom portion. So this will be for my husband. Along with some sausages. And his buttered bagel. Look at that. Aha. And I'm going to put a fork on there. Here we go. Kind of like the look of this one that has all these tomatoes on top. So I'm just going to grab a few of those and do a little cheat here and put them right on my husband's omelet so it looks a little more colorful for him. That's his breakfast for this morning. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope that you enjoyed our time together. I hope that you got to learn. You know, it's relaxing for me. I love to cook. I love to just put things together. And normally I don't talk while I cook. So it's a little different this time for me while I was chatting with you guys. But I'm so glad that you guys came on and we got to hang out a little bit together and spend some normal time together, right? And be grateful that we don't have to be in a household with crazy narcissists who are going completely nuts right now. And, you know, pray for those who are stuck with narcissists, because you cannot imagine the stress and anxiety that they're going through with the narcissist, you know, their outbursts and things. So, you know, pray for those guys. I really feel for them. But blessings to you guys. Get out in the sun, make some good food. Tell me about it next time. And if I make another meal like this, I'll see about recording it again, and then we'll catch up again. And hopefully we'll do this a few times during the week. All right, you guys. Many blessings to you. Stay safe, stay healthy. And I will see you soon.